Hello everybody, Hunter Bakes here, back with a review for y'all. And today everybody, we kick things off with return for Halloween / Horror Month everybody. Now for those of you who aren't too familiar with everybody, Halloween / Horror Month is a somewhat tradition here on Channel everybody, where basically throughout the month of October, I'll be reviewing different shows and movies related with Halloween, or have their elements of horror to it there. I did a revival for it last year I'll be doing it again this year one. And with this year's Halloween / Horror Month is probably going to be the biggest one yet, everybody, as I have a pretty decent amount of movies and some shows to review for this month here on October 1. And we'll be getting off the marathon stroke here, everybody, with a review for the most recent film that came out, everybody, as well as a sequel to a movie I reviewed last year, everybody, that being Hocus Pocus 2. Now, those who may remember last year's Halloween / Horror Month, everybody, I did review the first Hocus Pocus movie. I thought it was a pretty charming film there, still holds up pretty well, and it's an entertaining film to watch during the Halloween season there. However, part of the reason as to why I reviewed it there was because of the news of the sequel being in the works. However, things were relatively quiet about the sequel there until a couple weeks ago during the D23 event, where one of the reveals during the event there, Disney showed off the trailer for Hocus Pocus 2, with at the end of it there showing your release date for September 30th. Had the film come out in time for the Halloween season. So everybody. So I thought it'd be fitting since I did review the first film last year there. And with it being the most recent film I'll be reviewing this month, everybody, that wouldn't hurt to kick things off for Halloween / Horror Month. I'll do a review for Hocus Pocus 2. Recently I had a chance to sit down and watch the movie there. Now ready to give out thoughts for y'all. Apologies in advance for any hiccups and burps, everybody. I'll try to keep it under control here. But anyways, everybody, without further ado, let's go get right into it here. A review of Hocus Pocus 2. As usual, be over a plot summary, pros and cons, and overall thoughts of the movie there. First up, sorry, plot everybody. Movie starts out everybody around the 60s, I believe there, where we see the Sanderson sisters there, but they're much younger there, and it's Winifred's birthday there and stuff like that. But Winifred is a bit of a ruckus there, as she is denying a arranged marriage there. That was made by the Reverend there in the town. Eventually gets the whole town for the Sanderson sisters' home there, and there's Reverend pretty much warned, demanded Winifred to try to marry the guy there, but she said no. And she said if she were to marry anybody, it would be Billy Butcherson there. But eventually, that Reverend townfolk are not too happy about that there. After an incident there with the Winifred's pet spider came out there, the Reverend decided to banish the sisters there from town. They had tried taking younger sisters away there, but Winifred ran away with their two sisters there. They had away from Forbidden Forest there, or they would encounter a witch there. And this pretty much explains their origins there, how the Sanderson sisters became witches and stuff like that there. And the witch ended up giving them her book there, same book that was in the first movie there. She did warn the sisters about one spell there that would grant them great power, but would come at a great price, and warned them not to use it. So the Sanderson sisters got hold of the book there, used a spell to catch fire to the Reverend's home there. That pretty much explained the origins of the Sanderson sisters, how they became witches. We then fast forward to modern day times, everybody, where we focus on Becca and her friend Izzy there. And there's tension with her and another friend of hers, Cassie, there, as Cassie's been hanging out with a group of people there that made fun of Becca and Izzy there, and some of their activities they do there. Some mishap happens there in the classroom. Then and some people were assigned attention there. If we fast forward to Halloween night there, where Becca and Izzy end up going to a magnet shop there, ran by Gilbert, which is the same house that belonged to the Sanderson sisters. After putting on a bit of after telling townsfolk the story of the Sanderson sisters there, recap the first events of the first movie there. Gilmore wished Becca happy birthday there, as Becca was born on Halloween there, and it was her 16th birthday there. So he gave them a special candle, gave her and Izzy a special candle for their little ritual thing there that they do. But when they do the ritual there, it turned out to be a second black candle there, and that ends up reviving the Sanderson sisters there. And apparently Gilbert ended up tricking Becca and Izzy to bring back the Sanderson sisters there, because he pretty much became an obsessed fan of them there after seeing them. And during the events of the first movie, he was a kid, and he wanted to bring back the Sanderson sisters there. He ended up conjuring up a second black flame candle, and tricked Izzy and Becca to light it. Sanderson sisters there. Eventually find out there that the mayor of Salem there is a descendant from the Reverend there, and so they decide to get their revenge or whatnot, and get ingredients they need for the whole powerful spell there that the witch first had the book ordered not to do there. So it's up to Becca, Izzy, and eventually Cassie to try to stop the Sanderson sisters before they create their big powerful spell there and cause havoc in Salem. That is pretty much the plot summary for Hocus Pocus 2, everybody. Now on to the pros and cons of the movie, everybody. I'll go ahead and start and talk about why I liked about the film there and the positives about the movie. Everybody, for those of you who may remember, during my first review, everybody, my favorite part was with the Sanderson sisters there, and And that's the same for the sequel by the Sinister Sisters there. They definitely had the most entertaining parts of the film were, with them on screen there, They have a very good amount of screen time there, and the actresses who played them there, so they have a very fun time reprising their roles there, and they still have the same chemistry they did with the first movie there, so and Sisters there, I really enjoyed their scenes there. They were definitely the most entertaining parts of the film there. So, and I do appreciate what the film did there, kind of do a little bit of backstory there, kind of a little bit of explanation. The Sisters there. While you see some people say that we probably didn't necessarily need that there, I do appreciate the film do that there. I thought the film did a relatively well job, kind of give a bit of explanation there as to why the Sisters became witches, stuff like that there, and make them a bit more sympathetic there and stuff like that. So, the next big thing I liked about the film, everybody, is the comedy, everybody. While there were some jokes that kind of fell flat there, which I will get to here in a bit when I talk about criticism of the movie, everybody. I thought for the most part the humor was done very well there. There were definitely good scenes that had a good chuckle there, and they were pretty funny to watch there and stuff like that. And the last thing I'll talk about, everybody, is that there definitely been parts of, the sequel there where it does capture a similar enjoyment and charms compared to with the first film there. Like I said, in parts there are some things we get to here in a bit, but there are definitely different parts of the film that where it does have that same charm, compared, and similar to the first Hocus Pocus, everybody. That is pretty much it for the pros, everybody. Now to talk about some of the cons and get to some criticism, everybody. The first thing I'll talk about, everybody, is, definitely the biggest thing, that's got to factor in for different people there, whether they enjoy Hocus Pocus 2 or not, is ultimately depends on how they felt in the first movie there. For people who really enjoy the first film there, I think they're going to have a lot of fun watching Hocus Pocus 2, but for people that didn't enjoy the first film that much there, they're probably not going to be much interested in checking out the sequel there. And that's something that play a big factor by, because, when it comes to storytelling aspects, everybody, Hocus Pocus 2 is one of those sequels there that, pretty much a repeat of the events of the first movie there. While there are some minor differences there, essentially the overall plot's basically the same as the first film there. While that's not always a bad thing there, like for example, Ghostbusters 2 there, that's an enjoyable movie there, but a lot of people do agree that's not as good as the first movie there, since it's essentially told the same story as the first Ghostbusters film there. I feel like it's a pretty fair comparison with Hocus Pocus 2 there. For people that are going to be expecting major changes there, while there are definitely some notable changes there, the overall story is pretty much the same, beat by beat, from events of the first movie there. Where, like I said, depending on how you feel about the first movie there, it may not be that big an issue there, or not. It's got to factor whether if it's going to be a big issue with you or not there. The next thing, next criticism by, everyone from me, everybody, aside from the Sinister Sisters there, a couple of new characters, everybody, I really didn't have much of a connection or enjoyment with the new cast of characters, everybody. No offense to the actresses who played them there, but I feel like they weren't necessarily as fleshed out compared to the cast of characters in the first film there. I mean, in the first film, everybody, with Max and others there, we had time to get to know them there, get an idea what their personality was going to be like and whatnot there, and stuff like that. And you did get invested with what was going on with them there and stuff like that, and the relationship and stuff like that there, and the conflict that was going on between them there. For the main cast of characters, everybody, everyone, pretty much, the main issue there between Becca, Izzy, and Cassie there, when Cassie came out with other friends there, pretty much ignoring her other ones, everybody. It's pretty much a giant expedition dump at the beginning there, and then Cassie, she ends up, not becoming a factor throughout the good portion of the film there, and she doesn't necessarily come back until much later on there. And then, there are a couple of arguments, some of the scenes with Cassie and Becca arguing there, and then they have the big reconciliation near the end of the film there. But I feel like the movie didn't really give us enough time to flesh out their characters there. It didn't really give us enough time to, really have us get invested with their arcs and whatnot there. I feel like if they give us a bit more screen time, a bit more interaction there, and had a chance to give a little more personality, get to know their personalities and whatnot there, it would have been more, engaged with their overall arc in the movie there. It would have been a bit more impactful there. The next for everybody is, and what we really think about everybody, I won't harp on the writers too much there, because it is going to be a little tricky to kind of, explain how the Sisters came back there, but even then, the whole element of how they came back is a little bit absurd there. I mean, Gilbert becoming a pretty obsessed fan there, buying the Sisters' home, turning to a magic shop, knowing about the book, and creating a new flame to bring them back from the dead there. I mean, it is a bit absurd there. It was a bit of a stretch there to kind of justify a sequel to Hocus Pocus there. Yeah. mean, like I said, I won't harp on too much there, but I thought probably would have hurt to do something a little bit different there and have the whole, Gilbert create a new black handle there, tricky Becca and Izzy to light it there to bring the Scissor Sisters back there and whatnot, so yeah. The last thing I'll bring up real quick, everybody, is there's there were definitely some parts of the movie, everybody, that did kind of raise some questions for you. By a good notable example, everybody, there's one part where the Sanderson sisters end up traveling around town there, looking for the mayor and whatnot there, because one of the ingredients they needed for their big powerful magical spell there was the blood of their enemies. So. And then there's one part there, I can't remember which one of the citizens is there, but they end up peeking in a house there that ends up playing a scene for the events of the first movie on the TV there. Which, then after that, two more of the sisters there, see two people dressed up as the old couple who were dressed up like the devil and Medusa in the first film there. They had dressed up like them there, so and they looked a bit confused there and whatnot. And does raise up some questions there, on how why that was played there, and does that mean that the events of the first movie there, technically became a movie itself within the universe of Hocus Pocus there? I mean, it's just some random stuff there, Well, it was nice for references there. It did raise some questions there, and so it kind of opens up a bit of a rabbit hole as to, how, different things play out there and whatnot. So, exactly how all that works there. So, yeah. That is pretty much it for the pros and cons, everybody, for Hocus Pocus 2, everybody. Now to my overall thoughts and recommendation, everybody. So, overall, everybody, I did enjoy Hocus Pocus 2 there. It was an entertaining film there. But with that being said, it is a film that has a lot of problems with it there. And like I said, whether somebody enjoys Hocus Pocus 2 or not there, it ultimately depends on how they feel about the first movie. I mean, like I said, the film does retread a lot there from storytelling aspect there for the sequel there. And like I said, how they brought the citizens back there is a bit absurd there, whatnot. So like I said, so it's gonna be everyone. For me, everybody, Hocus Pocus 2, I'm going to be giving two different verdicts, everybody, from a perspective of someone who enjoys the first film, everybody. Hocus Pocus 2 would get a watch it rate from me there. For people who enjoyed the first movie there, I think you'll be having a lot of fun with Hocus Pocus 2 there. And be able to overlook its flaws there. But for people who don't have that strong nostalgic connection to Hocus Pocus there, had issues with the first movie there, then the movie really would get to Hocus Pocus 2 would get a rated rate from me there. If you weren't too fond of different things in the first Hocus Pocus there, then the sequel won't really do much to kind of pull you back in there and stuff like that. So, like I said, everybody, overall for me, everybody, I did have fun watching Hocus Pocus 2 there, but I will admit that the film does have a lot of issues there, and it's definitely going to be a hard recommendation there, hard for me, and recommendation-wise there. Like I said, if you're someone who enjoyed the first Hocus Pocus film there, I feel like you'll have a fun time watching the sequel there. But for people who didn't enjoy the first film that much, you're not really gonna miss much seeing Hocus Pocus 2. So, yeah. Well, everybody, I'll pretty much wrap things up for this review, everybody. Like I said, this will be the first of many reviews coming out for Halloween Horror Month, everybody. The next review I'll be doing, everyone, will be on Monster House, everybody, so make sure y'all see you for that. But I'll wrap things up now, everyone. Till then, if y'all like saw here, make sure to like button, huge share, subscribe to bell, change your icons, submit uploads. I will see you all next time to the Star Bake Side out. Peace.